Hey guys, so I'm not really the vlogging type, as I'm sure many of you know. You see my videos on YouTube, and for the most part, they're all me playing guitar, or maybe the occasional concert video or whatever. But recent events in my home country have kind of given a bit of gravity to the idea of me actually posting a vlog on this. And of course, I'm talking about the Toronto van ramming attack on Monday. Um, Interestingly enough, for those who don't know, I live in Sudbury, which is, it's a fair amount of, like, 300 miles or so from Toronto for you Americans, 500 kilometers for the rest of us. And we were there for a concert, my girlfriend and I. Interestingly enough, we actually found out about the attack an hour before we got to the show, and um, you know, we're on our way to stand on a sidewalk for an hour after a vehicle ramming incident with no known motive, whatever. It was a pretty scary time actually. Um, so that kind of marred our trip to Toronto a little. Although the show was great, but it did make for a very interesting trip. But having several days since then to kind of mull over it, learning more about the motives of this, it's really given kind of some food for thought and a little bit of pause on just what kind of issues this is. And it's just a really senseless, just stupid tragedy. And I don't think I have any friends that actually consider themselves incels like Alec Minassian did, but I do have some friends that maybe don't have very good luck with women. Some make some very misogynistic comments on Facebook about not having a lot of luck with women. You know who you are. And I've got a bit of advice for you, and you can take this from me because just like our good friend Alec from Toronto, who plowed through 24 people, killed 10 of them, many of them women. I didn't have my first consensual sexual experience till I was 25, which is how old this fucker is. I've been accused in the past of, saying, using words like friend zoned. I have done that. I've not treated all of my female friends very well in the past. I'd like to think, though, that time has made me wiser, has maybe grow out of some very, very poor habits, and, look at me. Goddamn, look at me. I'm 260 pounds. I'm not a nice guy. In fact, I'm kind of a snob. Anyone who knows me in person knows that I'm a fucking snob. And yet here I am in a stable relationship for 4 years with the love of my life. I'm not pretty. I'm not a nice guy. But I'm beautiful on the inside. And I got some advice for you folks that are maybe not very good with women, who maybe look at people like Alec and think that this is maybe the fault of feminists, this is the fault of PC culture, it's the fault of liberalism, what have you. If you don't have very good luck with women, if you consider yourself to be involuntarily celibate, maybe you need to take a look in a mirror and see if you're ugly on the inside, because that's where it fucking counts. Like I said, I feel particularly qualified to talk about this because I've had a lot of the same issues growing up. You know, I was bullied a lot as a kid, as a teenager, even as a young adult. But I worked on becoming beautiful on the inside. And if it's such a big thing that you can't muster that up, go get help. Go speak to a psychiatrist. Go speak to a therapist. Contact a crisis helpline, for fuck's sakes. Alec Manassian was a fucking coward. And if you look up to him, or if you think that the problem behind this isn't misogyny, isn't that this disgusting human being was dealing with some incredibly stupid thoughts, I'm sorry for you. But maybe you need to consider if you're ugly on the inside. So I'm not pretty on the outside. I'm pretty on the inside, and that's where it counts. So, this isn't the fault of feminism or liberalism. And just, I need to drive this point home, because one of the things that's made it much easier for me to step into a long-term relationship, and have sex on the regular with one woman, I'm not hiring her, is the realization. And for those of you in the back, I'm gonna say this nice and clearly so you get it, okay? Women don't owe you a fucking thing. They don't owe you their bodies. They don't owe you their time. They don't owe you their affection. Realizing that is what helped me get out of that situation in the first place and into a stable, loving relationship now. But some men just don't seem to get it. And then we get what happened in Toronto on Monday. You don't have to go too far to read comments, news articles, what have you, on people who espouse exactly the same thing. My own stepson watches YouTubers who spout off a lot of the same anti-feminist shit. And sometimes when I hear the stuff that comes out of his computer, it breaks my fucking heart. Because this is the same source material that a guy like Manassian is listening to, is taking to heart before he plows a van through pedestrians. It's fucking senseless. I need to repeat this statement again because it's just a point that needs to be driven home. If you consider yourself an incel or whatever, I'm sorry, man. Women don't owe you a thing. You are not entitled. Anyway, like I said, this is kind of becoming a bit of a ramble. I don't normally do the vlog thing. I prefer to let my guitar playing do the talking on my YouTube channel. And when I do open my big fat yaw, it's usually about guitars or music. I don't really care to talk about politics, current news, anything like that. But here we are. But anyway, thank you for watching. Peace out.